It'll be a 35-minute final for Ryan Callanan taking on Julian Wilson. Ryan Callanan from Newcastle. They call them Novocastrians from that part of the world. They've got crazy legends, big sports legends, but famously known for amazing surf events as well. For Callanan, he has the history behind him. A couple of years ago as a rookie on tour. But he hasn't surfed in a CT all season, but he sure looks like it. By the way, he's been competing, starting through the fog. Is Ryan Callanan. Beautiful soft lit light, just late in the evening here, and he'll just channel some energy towards the inside corner. He's out of there. Probably felt amazing with all the hype and the buildup of your first CT final to finally get your first wave out of the way.
Those nerves, keep those nerves at bay, get that first wave under your belt, start feeling it. And that's exactly what Ryan did here. Races down the line, draws first blood against Julian Wilson. Jamming it in the pocket, throwing the tail out there, so just feeling it out, getting those nerves out, feet in the wax, making sure everything's in check. So Ryan drawing first blood.
Like to see just the quick start in this 35-minute heat, so 5 minutes extra on the clock, but he knows that it pays off to catch a lot of waves right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at how the surfers that have had success through this event. Julian
setting up this one down the line with priority over Arkell. Throwing the big rotation in front of the fans on the beach. Julian had some massive errors in the heat against Medina, including a perfect 10. So that backhand air reverse is really warmed up and ready to go. Callanan opens with a 4.0. And that was Julian's first wave of the final. From our angle, them just channeling that information that he did go down on the rotation. Here's another angle to take a better look at it.
Yeah, let's see the drone angle as he goes for that rotation and just doesn't quite pull it. I guess we'll forgive him for that, Joe, because it's been a long day for Julian.
Making us question if he's in a bit of pain. Having a look now is Wilson attempting something on the inside on the way back out. Callanan patiently waiting out the back for the reaction from Julian's last couple of waves. Still starting with that 4.0 with 30 minutes on the clock.
A couple of incomplete rides for Julian. Ryan locking in a 4.0 on his opening wave.
Pretty impressed to see that first turn with some water out the back for Ryan Callanan. Little jam on that oncoming section. Frontside arc in the pocket for Arkell. Big windup, snaps it. Solid off the top. Wrapping cutback will set up a little inside section. Conditions looking a bit challenging at the moment. How'd you think he did here, Potts?
Well, let's have a look at the drone here. The drone shot for Ryan. Big, deep bottom turn. Nice vertical snap. Comes around, jams it through the lip again. Kind of gets hung up just a little bit, but look how much speed he gets off that bottom turn. Opens up with a bit of a tail slide. This wave just kept giving as Ryan milks it all the way down through the inside. And he's got that extra little bonus section, little ramp here, sort of almost like a little ollie as he finishes off wave number 3 for him. So he's going to back up that 4-point ride. Nice snap, and that's where he kind of got sort of hung up a little bit. A little sliding maneuver there on maneuver number 2. Now vertical through the lip there and brings it through the inside. So Ryan Callanan looking sharp, looking dangerous. Looks like he's still got plenty left in the tank, Joe.
Wilson's had a lot of time to digest the scenario. He had a 10 in the last heat. Callanan's been the highest scoring athlete in this event since round 2. You love when the two top surfers that are in form peak at the right time. Both a part of the final. Julian taking this wave. Snap to start. Looks like he wants a ramp section. Big rotation ends up out the back. But the fans are loving Wilson's commitment to go high above the lip.
That was definitely not a rookie move. Ryan, a very smart competitor. He's been here before. Let's have a look at Julian. A little snap off the top, a little stumble there, kind of wiped off a little bit of speed, so realizing I need something special, goes for that big backside reverse and sort of falls out the back. So back to the drawing board for Julian. He's looking for an 8.46. I mean, he's only just come out of a heat where he dropped a 10-point ride, so that's kind of what he needs, really.
Longtime competitor on the championship tour, competed at this event for many years. understands it as a former athlete and has great communication with the head judge, Pratamo Arendt. Pratamo just wants to make sure he has clear vision of every major move as we see Wilson hunting down the line. There's that tail high reverse. This time he gets it.
Well, if you don't succeed the first time, try again until you do. And Julian Wilson not wanting to give up on that, that's for sure. So Julian's first real wave, a 2.37, a 2.17 at the moment. His two scores needing an 8.46. Pick this one up sort of halfway out, which is kind of the ones you really want on this bank. They sort of hit that sandbar a little better and they stand up, they give you that vertical face, and Julian Wilson goes flying through the air, silhouetted by that sunset, and pulls that one off, Joe. So Julian back in the heat. Where is that going to fit in? Let's have a look. Beautiful snap, and then this is all set up work as he races down through the inside, and then bang. Beautiful air reverse, lands it nice and clean and comes out. The crowd appreciate it. And you can see where he took off on that wave. Ryan was sitting probably another 50 yards further out. And Julian flying through the air, looking so confident.
So impressive how he can whip those rotations around. Break down an 8.46 to take the lead off Ryan Callanan. And still 19:10 on the clock. Wilson looking for his second win this season in this heat. And now it's time for the wild card to answer. Beautiful top turn wrap for Callanan, building some speed. He's got a lot of momentum, going big, frontside punt on the roof. Can he sneak out of the whitewater, but it grabs his tail and takes him down to the bottom.
I think, with these two guys in the water, I don't think maneuvers really are going to be the big scorers. I think it's all about the air game. Both these guys are amazing at that. Julian Wilson back in the heat though, Joe. Look at that score.
Remember that heat with Parko and Kyle on the Gold Coast? Kyle was a rookie. Parko came into the beach, and Kyle's like, well, I guess I better follow him. Quick with fall for Wilson, going for a rotation on that section. Bill went into between the rocks. Kyle followed him. Then they're like, hey, get back out there. He's going to start again. This is Ryan now, weaving down the line. A lot of speed. Just waiting for a section. It's delaying it, but he's got more momentum now into a better part of the wave. Big wind up, tail chuck reverse towards the beach. A ton of height. Great extension with style above the lip, just sinking on the landing. Wilson's right behind Medina on the Jeep leaderboard. As we know, the World Surf League made a change in the points for finals. Less points in a second. Really trying to emphasize major wins. That's what Wilson needs at the moment to stay involved with the top Brazilians in the world. A couple of big blows for Ryan Callanan. Crowd loving the finish. Stays on his feet with a big blowtail. That's been one of his go-to moves this week at the Quicksilver Pro, and coming through for him when it means the most in the final.
Yeah, everyone's just hanging there, waiting. They're just appreciating every move these guys are making. And Ryan looking to better a 4.0. Nice little drift right there as he comes off the bottom. Jams it in the tail, slides the tail out, pulls it off, and everyone appreciates that. That's kind of a trademark move for Ryan, isn't it? And kind of a real interesting maneuver, because you throw the tail out literally 1 foot on the board, and then you it's all feel. You can't see where you're going because you're lying down on the whitewash. You got to let those fins re-engage, put your foot back on, and stand up. It takes a lot of technique, a lot of core strength, and a lot of ability.
But at the moment, they've got a lot on the line. Callanan up again. Fresh off the 7.4. Clean frontside arc. He'll step off on the beach. 4th heat for these guys on a massive finals day. Wilson chasing with his 6.67. Still needs a 7.56 to win this thing. This was the last of the Callanan.
Yeah, just trying to find some rhythm, trying to improve his situation. He knows Julian's capable of big things. Beautiful turn there. Kind of lost the fins at the bottom of that wave there. Didn't quite set the rail. So that's not going to go into his top 2 rides. Looking to replace the 6.83, and he'd love to do that, Joe. He realizes the capabilities of Julian Wilson.
So we're looking at 825 pots in the final here, the Quicksilver Pro. Setting this one up is world number 3, Julian Wilson. Second shot of the final here in France. Goes for the tail high whip towards the beach. That reverse has been working for him a bit this week. Incomplete on that effort.
Well, let's have a look at Julian first. All set up work so far. Not really focusing on too much except the aerial maneuver. Kind of punts it out more towards the beach.
Ryan's on the next opportunity. Callanan fresh off the 7-4. He's got the speed. Big section. Going for a massive aerial. Full rotation and some on that attempt.
That he did. Taking out world number 1 in one of the craziest heats. I think that was probably the heat of the event so far, Joe.
Callanan now surfing into the dark in this final. Beautiful work, but we got a clear vision of him on the inside, floating off the top, surfing on pure adrenaline. Julian's on the next one, looking for a big section to work with. Has his speed, ramp already approaching. Tail high full rotation right next to Callanan.
Wow! Just when you thought Julian wasn't interested. Bang! Take that, he says. Well, Ryan Callanan looking to replace a 6.83. Did he do that on the last wave? I'm not sure, but I know exactly what Julian did, and that was a huge air right there. Almost rivaling the 10-point ride in the semi-finals against Gabriel Medina. Let's have a look here. Bang! That was huge, right in front of Ryan. Take that, he says. He's not ready to give up just yet. Mid-face turn, connects nicely, flies through the air, beautiful body position, beautiful rotation, and almost lands on top of Ryan Callanan. And there's the fist pump. The crowd lose their mind. What a wave from Julian Wilson. This is not an easy wave. They've been having to jump on the jet skis. They've had to do all kinds of stuff, and here they are both in the final, digging deep.
Julian Wilson's going to chip into this wave with 50 seconds. He's got another backhand reverse for us. He'll throw that one away. 45 seconds remaining.
It is in the hands of the young Novocastrian as he sits out the back very patiently.
Boys, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Finally completing a final where the fog was haunting the lineup for quite some time. We'll make it official. Julian Wilson is your champion of the Quiksilver Pro France, picking up his second win of the season alongside his good friend Ryan Callanan, a wild card that is experiencing a day that he'll never forget. His best result to date. Can't wait for his return to the tour next season, as he's currently number 2 on the qualifying series. And Julian Wilson coming back to his second final in his career here in France, this time finishing number 1 at the end of the contest. He's got to be really proud of his performance today.
Oh, he's got to be ultra proud, Joe. He's had to dig deep. You know, the focus has basically been on Filipe Toledo and Gabriel Medina for the world title. Do not underestimate the fight in this kid, let me tell you right now. He is not going to go away. He is not going to lie down. He's not going to give up. He's won in Portugal. He's a pipe master. He's going in there with a lot of confidence right now. Now Medina and Toledo become the hunted. From that man right there, your 2018 Quiksilver Pro champion, Julian Wilson. Wow, what a day.